Welcome to Awkward Channeling, where spiritual insight meets real life awkwardness. If you're here for truth, growth, and a little chaos, you are in the right place. Hello.
Hey everybody, I'm back.
Welcome. Welcome to Joelle. She is back. She's
Hey.
doing better. And we
Yeah.
really appreciate all the love and prayers that you all sent
Oh,
her.
yes. Thank everybody so much.
And the
Thank you so
understanding.
much. Don't make me cry.
Putting up with me on my own. That was fun. Anyhow, we're super excited to be here today, but we're gonna kind of wing it a little bit.
No.
Yeah, we're kind of loosely gonna have some kind of a spirit conversation
Yeah.
and do some kind of channeling. Uh, but as usual, we are not
There's no
super
plan as usual.
not really. Yeah, see?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I feel like, use your word, I'm so discombobulated because I haven't been here, and it's like, okay, what do I do now?
I know. It's like when I had to do live the first time, the live card pulls. I was a nightmare the first time I did it, which was hysterical because I've totally done that before for years. Like, my problem was, but it's going to be a little. That's why today we just wanted to kind of wing it a little bit and talk about some different spiritual concepts. We thought that would be a great idea. We're looking at talking about boundaries, divine timing, what that kind of means, and why something you might be at a point where it's not divine timing for something and you can't figure out why it's not working. Energetic exhaustion, something I think we are experiencing right now. We really could talk a little bit about the energy. Finding your own truth. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, I was saying the energy is just off the charts right now. It's ridiculous.
It truly is. It truly is. And, and learning to trust your path kind of thing, which is all kind of difficult stuff for us. Humans. It's a human issue. Hello. Thank you for being here. Yay, Joelle's back. I'm so excited.
Glad to be back. And, thank everybody for thinking of me and being patient. And try not to cry.
She's not going to cry. She might cry today, but that's okay.
No, try not to. I just appreciate everybody so much for everything.
You need to take the time you need, and that's important. So if she dips out again at some point, we're just going to send her love and stick with it. She'll be back.
I'll be good.
Yeah, she's good.
I've been practicing and channeling a lot this week. I did, 3 channels this week?
Yeah, they were great. They were beautiful channels. I really enjoyed them. I think I saw all of them. Yeah. I'm really bad about I got to watch that, then I just never do.
Yeah. Well, the one coming out tomorrow is the Lilith one that was really...
Oh, I never did go in and watch that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I had to pause after that one because it was just like, I couldn't speak. It was like, holy crap, this was very... She was like, powerful, but not like, I don't know how to describe it. I mean, it was like crazy.
I can't wait. I don't know why I never went in and watched it because I can access it. But so, be sure to check out her channel, which is the Celestial Whispers Healing on YouTube, because that's where those are going. And, maybe we'll do some clearing today, most likely. But yeah, the energy has been really, to me, I think the energy lately has just been really strange. It's not that it's really hindering me a lot. It's like it's new and I'm trying to figure out how to navigate through it, but not in a bad way. And it seems to me like it's given me better connection and better general understandings, but at the same time I'm tired.
Yeah.
Like my physical body is just like, what?
I'm not exactly angry, but it's like I'm not holding my mouth where I used to.
Good.
And It's like I told my husband, it's like my give a F is just gone. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't care. You're uncomfortable. Oh well, that's on you. And usually I'm like, no, I'm not gonna say that. I don't want to start anything. Now it's like, oh really? Oh, let's go there. It's like, oh no,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's
I think that I think they're helping us work those pieces out to
yeah,
some degree. I think we're doing that and then recognizing it as that was a little harsher than I would like it to be, but that was
yeah,
true, right?
right,
So it's okay to say it, and then I think the work outweighs for us to be clear without it
yeah,
feeling like we're being aggressive. I don't
yeah,
know that we're being aggressive, I just think it feels that way
yeah.
sometimes.
And probably because I'm just not used to actually saying. I'm like, I'll say stuff after to myself and complain, but not to the person in the moment. And it's like,
Yeah.
whoa, where did that come from? Yeah,
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too.
yeah,
I feel like maybe we're both just doing enough work that we're really opening to the guidance too. Because I think there are times I feel really pushed to do something that I probably would let slide on most
right,
of the time. So, and I think that when we bring that, when we have those instances where we're like, whoa, you know, I think it's just an opportunity to realize, oh, we need to listen to that guidance more.
right.
It's okay for us to flow with that, even though maybe it's not super comfortable. But the energy lately has just been
No, it kind of goes with the boundaries though, because
this.
why am I echoing? But yeah, because like, there was a certain person that tried to hug me, and so unlike me, I was like, I put up my hand and I said, no, you're not gonna hug me. And that was
Yeah.
way out of character for me, but I was so glad I did it afterwards because I didn't have to clear myself after because the energy didn't, yeah. So
That's a great point. So, we don't have to be as polite as we've taught ourselves or been taught to be.
right,
We don't have to step back
right,
from our needing to set a physical boundary like that. We have to remember that the closer we get to somebody, if somebody puts their hands on us, we are now infected with whatever it is that drives their life. And if they're not somebody you want to even talk to, you certainly don't want them touching you, So
exactly.
it truly is important that we realize, and there's ways to skirt around this. I mean, I'm one to kind of see it coming and
Right,
move, get behind somebody, or, put something
right.
between us, or hold
Yeah.
my cup out in front of me. I mean, whatever might be there will be in the way. If I don't want to hug somebody, then I have to say
It,
it,
it
right?
caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting it. And I mean, my hand, I didn't even think about it. My hand just like, nope, sorry, no, we're not doing that. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, okay, go me.
Yeah.
I wasn't, like ugly. It was just matter of fact, It's like, no, we're
Not right now. Not
not
good
gonna.
time.
Yeah, but husband did, and
Take back your sovereignty.
I had to,
Love that.
I had to clear him the other day because he's like, I did hug them. Maybe that's why all this stuff is going on. And I'm like, you think? So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
We are. Joelle is on the mend, and
Thank
you know
you.
we're having an awkward conversation today. That's what we're doing. So energy is exhausting, but you know what? Stick to it. Really grounding, I think, is really important too, and that helps us, I think, feel the guidance when it comes to being in a situation where you really do need to set a boundary that that person's going to try to step across those boundaries no matter what. I think staying grounded and clear ourselves, of course, and sovereign within us is really important. So, I don't know about you, but I have been setting, um, archangels outside of my energy field in order to just keep my energy field clear, right?
Right.
Like we interact with others, and every time we interact with somebody, that energy comes in, right? And sometimes
Yeah.
it stays, sometimes it gets in the way, sometimes it doesn't. But
Right.
I like to have them there and just with the intention not of protection, like something's gonna hurt me, but in the sense that I want my energy field to stay as clear and as much me as I can
Right.
so that I don't have that interference.
Right.
And I think that's an important piece with that, with the boundaries too, is that we keep that up.
Right.
I really feel like that's just a boundary.
It is.
It may be an energetic one, but it's
Yeah.
just a boundary. It's just like, this is where it ends.
Yeah.
You know, only thing that can come through is love,
Right.
either direction. I don't want to infect anybody either. If I get mad at somebody or something, I don't want it leaving my field. You know,
Right.
let me sit it. That kind of thing.
Right.
So, and yeah, you know, gratitude's another good piece of that. Um,
What else?
trusting your path and finding your own truth. I kind of feel like these kind of go along
Yeah.
too. These are some of the things we have listed in
Right.
our thing. Truth. I think truth is, well, for Shauna, truth is a big deal. And it
Yeah.
always has been. I was always in trouble because I was always telling the truth and everybody around me was lying. And what, you know, I've discovered in this path of understanding more about how our system works and how we work is that we all have an individual truth.
Right.
And we have that because we have different experiences in this lifetime and in others.
Right.
So sometimes what's true for me may not be true for somebody else, but that doesn't mean anybody's wrong,
Right.
you know.
Kind of different
And
perspectives in a sense. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I really think it is. I mean, we're all unique beings.
Right.
We are unique in our souls. We've
Yeah.
had unique experiences in this lifetime and other lifetimes.
Yeah.
So, you know, why would our truth not be kind of fluid as well? Now,
Right.
that doesn't mean that we close down. For me, it was important to always ask people about their thoughts and ask people about their beliefs and ask people about, you know, their truth, because I always want to learn and grow, and I always want to
Right.
have deeper understanding,
Right.
right? And I feel like, you know, getting other people's perspectives and other people's understandings, now it doesn't mean that I hold those as mine, but
Right.
it may help me see something in a different way because the perspectives of this life were pretty narrow,
Right.
you know. So for me, that was always important. But learning to find that truth
Right.
and feel comfortable standing in it without somebody else's approval
Right.
is kind of an interesting thing.
Yeah.
And not getting lost in right and wrong. Because yes, different realities can coexist. They absolutely do coexist. But do we realize that? Like, do we realize that somebody else's experience of the same situation is completely different?
Right. Not until recently, you know. I say recently, but yeah, not growing up in my younger years, I didn't. Yeah.
No. And we were taught that if we thought differently than our families, we were wrong. So that's where the right and wrong thing comes in, and then everybody starts arguing with each other about what the truth is. The truth is
And the monthly
multifaceted.
approval too, you know. You always want
Yes.
family's approval and
Yeah.
seek approval from others. That's
Right. And I
kind of deep in me that I've been trying to get away from, and I have been doing better. But it's like, oh, they're not going to like this if I post it, and it's like I'm getting to the oh well.
we need, you know what, I used to post stuff that, you know, people would just be like, what? They go away. They're not my people. If you don't like the weird stuff I post, and you know, sometimes I'm joking about something that maybe might offend somebody. I don't know. But you know, I kind of got to the point where I was like, oh, let's see how many people this stirs up. And it wasn't like malicious. It was just like, I like this and I want to share it. So I had to shift that thought process to, well, let's see who stirs up.
Right.
There's a block button, so it's okay, right? Like,
it's like, who's gonna leave now?
yeah. You know, it's funny to go back to that approval thing. You know, we are really taught in this world to get external approval, and we are never taught. I shouldn't say never. In my lifetime, It was all about everybody else.
Right.
And there was no thought to how do I feel about that ever,
Right.
ever, never needing my own approval. And the truth is, at the end of it, you know, into my 40s, when I started all of this,
Right.
I was like, wait, what I really need is my own approval. If
Yeah.
I just approved of it, then that sets the tone for other people to just accept it. But
Right.
if we're disapproving of something we're doing or something we're feeling, then that sets that energy out and it sets the tone. And the people around you are going to react to that and be disapproving. There were big things that I was like, no, this is just what I believe and I'm tired of hiding it. And I was so surprised at how I was like, it doesn't matter because
Right.
that's how I feel. That the people I expected to kick back the most did not.
Really.
They didn't. They were like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good for you. And left it alone. It was very strange.
Yeah.
So, I think that, and I feel like that kind of goes along with our own truth, really, is once we've accepted it and once we,
Other people.
you know, we water that and tend
Yeah.
to it, it becomes something in our energy field.
Yeah.
And when that shows up in our energy field, then people will react differently than we would expect them to. I feel like I'm all over the place and I'm the only one talking. Say something.
No, I'm in agreement with you. Like I said, I'm discombobulated, but yeah, I mean, and
Just
that's kind of what I can't remember who it was now. One of the channels I did, they were talking about, do what you want, post whatever you want, stuff like that. And other people will follow suit because they see you standing in your truth. So that gives them the power to stand in theirs. And I was like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. I can't remember which channel it was, though.
It's true of a lot of different things. You can be an example of so many things that help people
Right.
give themselves permission. Because really, I mean, every time I work with a client, do you know what we're doing? Constantly giving ourselves permission in those sessions, constantly saying, you have permission to do that, don't you? Like,
Yeah.
who do you need permission from? It's you, right? Like, there's this thing about us giving ourselves permission and not looking for it outside of ourselves.
Right.
That's huge for that. And it makes a huge difference for other people as well.
Right.
I found that to be very true when
I don't know what all we're talking about.
I told you. You have to send you my sticky note. I'm just kidding. Yeah, guys, we really are winging it today, so I hope this has some value for you all. But we're just gonna get Joelle kind of back into the swing of things and go easy on her a little bit. We were also had a listing. This one maybe you can help me with because I'm not sure I understand this intuition versus anxiety.
Yeah. Well,
What do they mean by
I will say when I first started channel, like the
that?
angels and guides started coming in, I thought it was anxiety because I didn't realize that their vibration, coming in such a high. I literally felt like I was having an anxiety attack because I'm like shaky and it's like, what? My heart was like, I'm like, what is going on? And one day it hit me. It's like, oh shit, that's Metatron coming in doing that to me. It's not anxiety.
He's a high energy girl.
Yeah.
That's true. When your guides come close, it could um, it could cause what feels like anxiety. And I think that's a great point.
It took me back to my 20s and I'm like wondering, were they trying to, contact me then? And I was mistaking it for anxiety, which I probably was, but
Maybe a little bit of the empath issue where you're absorbing as well. But yeah, I mean, when they come close, when they're really trying to work with us, it's a lot of energy. And when you're unaware, it really does cause some weird reactions with the body. It really does. I'm also thinking, like, let's say you all of a sudden just have this like doom feeling or something, and you're about ready to leave or whatever, could that anxiety feeling be your intuition? Like, that
Oh,
just kind of came up
totally,
to me. Yeah, you
totally.
kind of have to
About
take a
that
second.
with not so much myself, but with like Forrest and Dakota. They
Mm,
were planning to go somewhere, and I was just like, no, y'all need to stay. And there was like a huge wreck on the interstate, and I was like, they would have been smack in
yeah,
the middle of it if they would have left.
yeah. And we feel like, so when that kind of stuff happens, we feel crazy.
Yeah.
We're like, I don't know why I feel this way. And we're trying to dismiss it, but it's getting stronger. And then it just turns into this big,
Oh,
anxiety thing until the realization actually hits. And sometimes
right.
that doesn't happen,
Yeah.
then we just think we're having anxiety. Um, and, the truth is that anxiety slowed us down and we didn't get out the door when
Right.
we would have, till we missed something by a few minutes,
Yeah.
and sometimes we never know like why we had to leave later, but we had to. Like,
Yeah.
that's one of the times I can think that intuition would seem like an anxiety.
Yeah.
Do any of you guys have any um examples of that? Of what, when you think that maybe it was intuition, you thought it was anxiety? Is it similar situations like that? I don't know. I can't think of any other way that comes about, but I think there is. Maybe somebody wants to channel. Somebody want to channel? Yeah. Who should we call? Who's coming? I'm not sure who's. I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
Is it Jeremiah? Maybe it's Archangel Jeremiah. He's a guide.
Yeah.
Uh, Alicia, when my intuition has helped me avoid major accidents on the highway, it's felt like panic. Yeah. I didn't know why until after the accident happened. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I think, those situations where we don't know, sometimes we never know. Like,
Right.
sometimes you're just like, I don't know, I just can't leave yet. And you're
Yeah.
like, maybe I'm not gonna go. And then you're fighting with yourself, and they have you fight with yourself for a while. And all of a sudden you're like, I'm being silly, I'm just gonna go. And it's fine because they delayed you that length of time. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I do that about just going to a store. And I don't think it's about the drive. I think it's about who I would run into in the store.
Right.
Like, not the right people would be where they need to be.
Yeah.
Because they talk to me in the stores all the time. But
Oh yeah. That's why I don't
yeah,
go to any stores anymore. And and I think that could be part, like you mentioned, the empath part of me with the
yeah,
anxiety, because I used to work retail, and oh my God, people would come up and tell me things that I'm like, I really wish you, because I worked in the health and beauty part. So it's like all of the personal hygiene. And it's like,
yeah.
no,
Don't share that stuff with me.
it was before TMI was a thing, but it's like, I don't need to hear this, just here's your stuff, let me go. And sob stories. And it was like,
Yeah,
wow, you
yeah,
know, yeah, pouring their
yeah.
hearts. I'm like, I had no clue what was going on back then, and yeah.
There's something in the energy field, right? And it still happens to me. I consider it part of my job in a sense. It's part of my service. I will be in a store. And it's kind of funny because I realized that there are times that I put purple in my hair, and it's
Yeah.
not all my hair, but it's just like through my bangs or right through here. And I don't know why I all of a sudden get an urge to do it. And the
Yeah.
last time this happened, they had me do that again. And I was like, and it's like this urge I cannot fight. So like, it
Yeah.
has to happen. Right. I'm like, it's ridiculous, but it has to happen. And then I go to a store, and that got this woman's attention. And then she left. She got all the way to the store, almost out the door. And I saw her stop. I could still see her from where I was.
Yeah.
Stops in the doorway, turns around, and comes right back. And she told me her whole story about her husband and how he had been sick and when he died, and like this whole thing. And she
Yeah.
just needed love and acceptance. And like, we got stuck at the register, a self-checkout register, for like 30 minutes. And I was really wishing somebody would tell us to move, but they wouldn't say anything to us. But I think that's why they do that with me. They
Yeah.
have me do something that would attract the right attention from
Right.
someone, and it brings them to me. It's like kind of one of my things.
Yeah.
And she just needed love and a hug. And, you know, to be told we had to move from front of the register to get in. Of course, she was so sweet. But, that happens a lot, and that is something in the energy field. Yeah, and it actually is an art to learn. Like, what's theirs is theirs, and what's mine is
Right,
mine. And
right.
girlfriend, I talk to my guides a lot because I used to be really out of control with that too,
Yeah.
and working retail, and I sold insurance.
Yeah. Oh,
That was fun,
yeah.
you know. So I learned, like, oh wait, I started questioning my moods and my different feelings, and I'm like, I don't want to hold that. And then I just started realizing that I could use that simple tool when
Yeah.
I interacted with somebody that maybe just didn't feel great, or I felt bad for them. I could just be like, okay, what's theirs is theirs, what's mine is mine. The
Right.
intention with that is that it separates our energy. I
Yeah.
want my energy with me, their energy with them. All is good. And it works. I just say it
Yeah.
like 3 times, and it just kind of ruffles us apart, and
Yeah.
it helps.
And I think sometimes, I know, looking back for me, they send people like that to let us know that we really are healers and things like that. Because when I first was starting out, I was like, you know, looking at all of this stuff, and I'm like, that's me, but no, I'm not. I'm not. No. And my grandson, he's on the spectrum, and was going to therapy. He was little bitty back then, and I'm sitting in the waiting room waiting on him, and this boy came in, nonverbal, just, you could, there were other things wrong with him. He walked in the door, climbed up in my lap, and just hugged, and I'm like, oh, okay. His mom was like, oh my God, he does not go to anybody. And he stayed in my lap until it was time for me to leave. And it was like, I was like, okay, so maybe there's something to this. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
it
they
got
do.
me really.
Yeah, the way they train us is really interesting. Most of my training came from just my guides and the experiences that they would put in front of me, the healers they would bring to me. I never agreed with all of them, right? Like, there was always things I was just like, that's not true for me. That's not how I work. But it really is interesting how they try to train us and how they try to open us up to really who we are.
Yeah.
And all of those experiences play so many layered parts in that, I think, for us.
Yeah.
There was a period when I was first learning about the fact that there was such a thing as a spiritual side. Right? I had no idea. And that happened constantly. It drove my kids insane because I would be standing in a grocery line, and the person behind me would start talking to me. And then the next thing you knew, they were telling me secrets they'd not told anybody. And then they were shocked by what was coming
Right.
out. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, I'm a safe space. I'm not going to tell nobody. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's God loves you anyway. So who cares?
Right.
Like, I was like, it's fine. But they would just be so embarrassed and like taken
Right.
aback. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes they just can't help themselves, and that happened a lot. So
Right.
that
Oh,
is one of the ways that we learn is from those experiences. There's
yeah.
so much you can take from those.
Right.
One of them is stop hiding, which is something, my guides have been working on.
Right.
Let it be what it really can be. I mean, we're all so powerful. Every one of you guys are
Right.
powerful beings. There is no doubt about that. You have powerful teams and lots of choices into who and how you want to be. And, you just try to find what's flowing for you. When you run into a roadblock, you just got to step back and be like, what's happening here? Where's the easier route? What do I do? And wait for signs, and trust yourself as you read those signs. And I think trusting yourself and your path is another really huge, important
Right.
piece where that's concerned.
Yeah.
And I just realized we were going to channel your mail, and then we just went on to something else. So,
It's new.
what's new? Does he still want to talk? I think he does. We were talking about, what were we talking about when? Oh, we were talking about anxiety versus
Yeah.
intuition when we did that. So let me see. Let me see if I can pull him in. Yes, I do not really have much to add. You are covering the bases with these topics, but it is really a truthful piece that when you get an intuition hit, that it, whether it's positive or negative, you were giving examples of a kind of negative where you could have had an accident or what have you. You can have an intuition about something that is also like a positive that causes anxiety in you and causes that same feeling. And as Joelle mentioned, it is actually true that when we come really close, depending on what being's coming close to you, that energy may not be super resonant with you. So if there's a need for us to come in really close with a really strong message, your intuition will feel much like an anxiety. So when that happens, we ask for you to take a moment, stop the busyness, because each of you are always very busy in those moments. Take a moment, step back. When you start all of a sudden feeling that, could this be my guides? Could this be an intuition piece? Let me take a moment. And it doesn't take long, but 3 deep breaths, imagine grounding, feeling present in that moment may give you the information that you need, may give you the clarity that you need, that this isn't anxiety, there's something happening, and I'm picking up an intuitive moment. And it may be, something in a positive way, that you need to shift something or you need to go here and do this or what have you. So if you take that moment, it is much more likely that you will then receive more of the message. It is sometimes difficult to get those messages through, and the busyness that I mentioned is part of the issue. You are not regularly told that when you're feeling that, to take a moment, get centered, breathe, and just not worry or not fight it. If you don't fight it and you don't try to get rid of the feeling and you say, oh, I'm curious, what's this about? And you just sit with it for a second, could just be 20, 30 seconds, then you may feel the warmth and the love and the clarity that, oh, this isn't bad. This isn't panic. This is an intuitive hit. And you don't have to figure it out in that moment, but they do come in. So just so that you understand, this does happen. And it's very simple. And you have to have a practice of this. So the first time you do it, you may not really fully understand the message, and that's okay. We will continue to bring that message. It will sit in your energy field until you understand if it is an important message for you to have. But if it is a negative, that 30, 45 seconds that you take, that minute, that 2 minutes that you may take, that may be enough to set you on the right path. Sometimes we do this so that you, as this one has said, run into the right people in stores. There may be somebody who needs to connect with you, or you need to connect with them, or that you haven't seen in a long time, and it's important for you to reconnect due to your path. Those things happen. So there are times that we are delaying something or speeding something up for you to get you aligned. That is a lot of work for us. It's not the easiest thing. So sometimes we have to give you that hit of really strong intuition that feels very anxious in order to get you to do something, or as this one calls it, a push. Like she'll feel a push that she has to do something, and that's us just continually softly with the message of, this is what you need to do. And yes, we do that with the purple hair color with her, and it does line her up to one thing or another. Sometimes it just brings that energy into her field, and that's what she needs. So thankfully, she listens so much more than she has in the past. So this is just a little more insight on how this is working. And please call us in at any point in time. You have large teams of lovely light beings that can help you. So be open as much as you can to this assistance. And when you do have the anxiety, maybe it's just your guides, and take a moment and breathe. Okay. A little clarity, I guess.
Yeah. And
Okay.
you can also ask it when you figure out, hey, it's them. If you're still, you can say, hey, can y'all dial this back a little bit or raise me up to where it's not making me so anxious because I've had to do that a couple of times. It was so potent, I guess. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. And, frankly, I think that, I don't know if they understand this, but sometimes when we get into that triggered where we feel like it's anxiety and we're having a rough time, sometimes we can't easily pull out of that.
right.
There are times that it just doesn't leave. Maybe it triggers something else that's
Yeah,
going on with us. Or, we assign it to something and then it becomes something it wasn't. But yes, you can absolutely ask to dial it down. I tell people to do that all the time. People who get headaches, if they're ear ringing and they're getting headaches and they think it's spiritual and they've checked, physically they're okay. I ask them to just like sit back in a chair, breathe, and then just say, can you please slow down the energy that is coming
right.
and going and have it be graceful through my system because this is too much for me. And they will. Sometimes it works.
Yeah,
They'll slow it down and then the headache will dissipate and. So we really can work with them.
yeah. And
Absolutely.
they forget sometimes that, yes, we're light beings in a human body. They don't always, oh, they can't take it all at, the same time.
At
Like,
one time.
right,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think it's an opportunity for us to understand that we can talk to them too.
right,
So again, layers, right?
right.
Like it's an opportunity to say, oh, can someone help me with this? Like
Mhm.
whoever feels appropriate, what's going on? Like this is too much. Can you slow it down? I do a lot of like my team is trained that everything is graceful, as
Right,
graceful as possible. So it's very rare now that I have to ask for something to slow down. And even though like there are times I'm working with somebody and they really want to do it all, I'm like, it has to be graceful or
right,
I'm not going to play the part because I don't want somebody to get too much energy
right.
and get sick. I've had people do that to me, where they get too much at one time. I want them to get the whole pile, but can it just come over the next 2 days? Does it
Right,
have to be in this moment? And most of the time, it'll be what you wish it to be.
right,
Like, I want full potential, but I don't want a sick client.
right,
Yeah. And some people aren't super um they can't take so much energy.
right.
Like my daughter Samantha is very sensitive, and every time somebody works on her, she's sick. Every
Yeah,
time. So it's always like graceful as possible.
right.
But we have to understand that nobody's in charge but us.
Yeah,
It's okay to talk to them. It's okay to say, hey, I don't want to do that. Like,
right.
you know, give me another way, you know,
Yeah,
show me another path or what have you.
right.
So um I think divine timing is the only thing we haven't talked about. I don't know where we at. Oh, we're pretty late.
Yeah,
Yeah. Divine timing is just important.
right,
Sometimes we're not really ready for something that we're asking for.
right,
And I kind of feel like that's where divine timing comes in. And we have to realize that, okay, if we're trying to get somewhere and we thought we were headed that way, and then all of a sudden we're not, what part of this are we not ready for? And look within. What do we need to shift within us? What's the perspective change? What's the release of some negative thoughts? Or, what is it that is messing with the timing of this? Because, you know, I think that's important. It's not going to happen unless it's supposed to happen.
right.
And a lot of the time, it's because there's some part we haven't quite picked out.
Right,
And if you can't figure it out, but you think something might be there, find someone that you can trust to talk to about it that maybe can have deeper insight about it.
right. Just bounce stuff off. That's what me and Shauna do all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
We do. If you have a friend who's, you know, a little bit of a healer or has some of the same mindsets, like you guys can have open conversations about things and see if there's a piece that you can't see. Because I know a lot for me, there are times I cannot see what it is, but
Right.
I know something's there. And then
Yeah.
I'm like reaching out to other people and hoping I don't have to get a session with someone, but sometimes I just have to get a session. And it's really can be really helpful.
Yeah.
So, um, got anything to add? Are you okay?
I'm here. I'm just still, it's
Yeah.
weird today. Hopefully I know I'll be better next week. It's just,
Yeah, you're fine. I just want to make sure I'm not like just talking and you have something to say and
oh,
I'm just shut up. You know what I mean?
I mean,
No,
I'll interrupt with, because that's how I am. I'm like Doug from Up. Ooh.
that's all right. That's all right. All good. Well, I hope this was at least somewhat helpful for you guys. And we appreciate your, your patience with us. Bringing Joelle back in and giving her slow space to kind of come back. And next week we do card pulls.
Yeah.
So we will do that and, hopefully
I'll be
just
back
be
to
a little
normal.
more back to, what we've been doing, or we'll come up with some new tricks. That'll be fun. But if there's anything that you all want to see, because we don't really have many topics to discuss on these days, the every other week right now. So if you guys have things you want specifically to hear about, or hear from, if there's, someone that you want to hear from, we can check in and see,
Right.
if we can do that. We're really open to ideas and suggestions and that. So feel free to contact in whatever way, leave us a comment somewhere. We will do our best to.
Please.
And thank you for being here and putting up with us.
Thank y'all for everything.
Yeah, we really appreciate your presence.
Yeah.
And we will see you
next
week.
Thanks for joining us today. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And you could join us on Patreon for exclusive content and deeper behind the scenes magic. We will see you next time.